Hello students, and welcome to the next lesson in our AS level economics course. Today we're going to be looking at supply. What is supply? Supply is the quantity of a good or service that a producer is willing and able to put onto the market at a given price in a given time period. Now, price is going to be the main factor which will influence the demand and the supply of a product in a market. But how do we show this? We can show this on supply curves, and this is what a supply curve looks like. Just like that of a demand curve, it has two axes, the price axis on the y-axis and the quantity supplied axis, which is the x-axis. It then has a curve which runs in the opposite direction and way of a demand curve. A demand curve slopes from the top left to the bottom right, but a supply curve slopes from the bottom left to the top right. We can also map on points of a product hypothetically on our supply curve. Let's say product or service A is put on here at price P. That means the quantity supplied will be at Q1. Now we can also change the product with its price and its quantity supplied to get it at a different point on the supply curve. Let's say we lower the price from P to P1 of this product. That will mean the quantity supplied will move from Q1 to Q. Now this decrease happens because the producers have less of an incentive to produce the product if it's going to make less money since the price is lower. Shifts in supply. Supply can also shift. What we just looked at on the supply curve is a movement of supply that moves up and down the curve. But as you'll see now, we can shift the whole curve completely. This occurs when the supply curve completely moves to the right or to the left where it originally existed. For example, it can move to the left and then we would have to label this S2. It can also shift to the right, and if it's the first shift we would also label it S2, but if it's the second shift we would label it S3. Now we're going to look at the factors which are going to shift supply. There are a number of factors which can actually shift supply, the first of which being costs of production. If the cost of production rise, it's going to be more costly to produce each product, so as a result less will be supplied. Improved production techniques. If we have improved production techniques, it can probably be cheaper and more efficient to produce more products, and therefore more can be supplied onto the market. Climatic conditions is also a factor which affects supply. Let's take the example of agriculture. If in a farm there is very bad weather, not much vegetables and potentially fruit are going to be produced in order to supply onto the market. Therefore you need adequate climatic conditions to increase supply. If you have, let's say, a lot of rain and you don't get much sunlight for your crops, as a result, the supply curve is going to shift to the left because cost of production will rise and not as much can be produced. Government taxes and subsidies also affect supply. If we have more taxes on a product, cost of productions are going to rise and therefore the graph would shift to the left. However, if we have a subsidy, cost of productions will decrease and it's going to be cheaper to produce each good, therefore more goods could be supplied onto the market with the given budget. And as a result, the supply curve would shift to the right. Also, business objectives are going to affect supply. The business may want to supply more of a product in order to make more money in that area, and supply less of a product in order to take away from that potentially declining market. So those can also shift supply. Here are some questions to do with supply. Have a go at pausing the video and answering these on another sheet of paper separate from your notes so that you can see where you've progressed. Hit play whenever you're ready to see the answers. Here are the answers. If you did get all of these right, congratulations. I'd advise you to move on to the next video, which will be on the price elasticity of supply. As always, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out www.revisealevel.co.uk for more information on all of your subjects. As always, I'll see you again next time.